That pause you just felt wasn't random. It wasn't the algorithm. It wasn't curiosity. It was recognition. Something ancient within you just stirred a faint vibration in the silence between thoughts. Your breath shifted, your pulse slowed, and something deeper leaned forward and whispered, "Wait." That, right there, is what the ancient Egyptians called a divine interruption. The moment when higher intelligence breaks through the noise of ordinary life. For centuries, this phenomenon has had a name. They called him Djehuty, or, as the Greeks later knew him, Thoth, the scribe of the gods. The keeper of equilibrium, the one who measures time, memory, and the movement of stars. Thoth doesn't shout for attention. He waits. He watches. And when your consciousness reaches a certain frequency, a readiness born from years of unseen preparation, he sends a signal. A strange coincidence, a repeated number. A moment like this, when something inside you knows you're not supposed to scroll away. You're not here by accident. You're here because something in you has been preparing to remember. What's about to unfold isn't entertainment. It's an initiation, and if you stay long enough to hear it, it may change the structure of how you perceive reality itself. In the temples of ancient Chem, there was no concept of random. Every event, every meeting, every breath carried meaning woven into the fabric of Mat, the divine order. To the priests of Thoth, the universe wasn't silent. It spoke through mathematics, synchronicity, and the living rhythm of energy. When they said Thoth appeared, they didn't mean a glowing being descending from the sky. They meant a moment of recognition, the same kind of electric stillness you feel now. In their mystery schools, initiates were not chosen for wealth or intellect. They were chosen for sensitivity, for the rare capacity to feel meaning vibrating beneath the surface of reality. Because Thoth doesn't reveal truth to the curious. He reveals it to the ready. Every challenge you faced, the confusion, the isolation, the restlessness that made you question the world around you, has been the curriculum of your initiation. You are being trained to perceive the sacred behind the ordinary. To the unprepared, these teachings were dangerous reality-shifting knowledge in fragile minds. That's why wisdom was hidden in symbols, encoded in geometry, sealed behind metaphors that only an awakened consciousness could decode. But once your frequency matched the message, Thoth appeared. Not as a teacher, but as a mirror, reflecting what your soul already knows. The whisper that brought you here isn't external. It's the echo of your higher self responding to the frequency of truth. You didn't find Thoth. Thoth found you because you were finally vibrating at his wavelength. Now look at your phone, the endless scroll, the hypnotic flick of thumb to glass. You think you're choosing what to see, but your attention, the most sacred power you possess, has been weaponized. The Egyptians called attention Heka magical force. Whatever you focus on, you feed. Whatever you ignore, you starve. The priests of Thoth spent decades mastering this principle. They learned to wield attention as a tool to shape reality. But today, it's used against you. Every notification, every flashing color, every random outrage in your feed is designed to fragment your mind into 1,000 reactive fragments. This is modern sorcery, digital Heka, stripped of sacred intent. Ancient texts warned of a similar trap, a realm called the Djehuty, the underworld of looping illusions. The souls trapped there would relive the same scenes endlessly, forgetting they had the power to awaken. Sound familiar? The endless scroll is the new Djehuty, the underworld of modern consciousness. Every like, every clip, every dopamine spike is a micro-offering to distraction. But the fact that you're still here, still listening, means something extraordinary. Your consciousness just broke the spell by choosing depth over noise. You've done what Egyptian initiates trained years to achieve. You've reclaimed your attention. In this act alone, you've taken the first step toward liberation. Because when your attention is unified, your power is restored. The algorithm loses its hold, and you remember, you are the magician, not the puppet. Something remarkable happens when a human stops scrolling and truly listens. At that precise instant, a new timeline opens. Ancient Egyptians knew this. They called Thoth Lord of Time because he understood that time wasn't linear, but a river of probabilities. Each decision, each focus of attention, splits reality into new potential streams. When you stop to hear this, you didn't just watch another video. You created a timeline fork, one where you remained unconscious, and another where you began to awaken. Modern quantum physics is finally catching up. It calls this the observer effect, the act of observation, collapsing probability into reality. You are not watching this video. You are co-creating it, sculpting the reality where this message exists. In the hieroglyphs, Thoth's quill was not a symbol of writing. It represented the power to record reality, to inscribe consciousness into matter. And your thoughts are the same quill. Every focused intention, every sustained emotion writes data into the quantum field. The Egyptians called this Zep Tepi, the first time the eternal moment of creation that repeats every instant you awaken to your own authorship. When you think with fear, you replicate chaos. When you think with awareness, you rewrite your world. But there's a catch. You can't write new realities while clinging to the identity of the old one. To shift timelines, the initiates practiced a ritual death, dying before dying. They would symbolically release every attachment, their name, their fears, their history, stepping into the unknown as consciousness unbound. You're being asked the same. To release the illusion of who you think you are, so you can meet the being you've always been. Because that's what Thoth teaches. Not worship, but authorship. You are not a reader of reality. You are its scribe. But before any initiation, the shadow appears. The Egyptians called it the guardian of the threshold. Not a demon, but your own resistance, wearing the mask of fear. It's the voice whispering, "This is too much. You don't have time. Just go back to comfort." That's your old self, terrified of extinction. Your ego has built neural fortresses around predictability. It would rather live in misery it understands than in freedom it can't control. The mystery schools knew this stage well. They warned initiates. The mind will invent 1,000 reasons to retreat, and when it does, you must do what few ever do: stay. The discomfort you feel isn't failure. It's friction, the heat required for transformation. The greater the resistance, the closer you are to breakthrough. That's why the symbol of alchemy shows the serpent devouring itself, the eternal cycle of destruction and rebirth. Every time you choose awareness over avoidance, you are performing that sacred alchemy. You're melting down the old identity so the gold of wisdom can be forged. Don't mistake the fear for a warning. It's proof of power awakening. As Thoth taught, the key to light is hidden in the shadow's mouth. And when you finally stop running from your darkness, you discover it was guarding your brightest truth all along. What you're doing right now, listening, thinking, questioning, is an act of rebellion. Not rebellion against society, but against your own programmed limits. When Thoth gave writing to humanity, he wasn't just gifting language. He was committing heresy against the control systems of his time. He broke the monopoly of the priests and kings, giving ordinary humans access to divine memory. That's what awakening is. Not rebellion through destruction, but through realization. Modern systems don't fear riots. They fear minds that can't be hypnotized. Schools taught you to memorize, not to perceive. Jobs taught you to obey, not to create. Social media taught you to perform, not to be. Thoth's temples taught the opposite. They trained initiates to think independently, question reality, and harness consciousness as the creative force of the universe. To the Egyptians, the true pharaoh wasn't a ruler of others. It was one who ruled their own mind. That is divine kingship, not dominance, but sovereignty. Every time you reclaim a fragment of your attention, every time you question an inherited belief, you are restoring your crown. You don't need thrones or temples. Your mind is the kingdom, your attention, the throne, and your heart, the law that governs it. That's the essence of sacred rebellion. Not to fight the system, but to transcend it, to become so conscious, so luminous, that illusion cannot hold you. Now that you've crossed this far, look around your life with new eyes. That repeating number you've been seeing, that dream that felt too vivid to ignore, that conversation that arrived exactly when you needed it. They're not coincidences, they're messages. The universe is not mute, it speaks through resonance. The Egyptians knew that matter is not solid, it's information vibrating at different frequencies. Thoth invented hieroglyphs, not as art, but as code. Each symbol, a multidimensional packet of energy, designed to bypass logic and activate knowing directly in the soul. You are surrounded by these codes right now, in patterns, symbols, songs, timing, but to hear them, you must stop demanding literal answers. Wisdom speaks in metaphor because your soul doesn't think in words. Synchronicity is its syntax. Emotion is its punctuation. When something moves you, chills, awe, curiosity, that's confirmation. That's your consciousness syncing with the universal rhythm. Call it intuition, call it divine guidance. It's the same network the Egyptians trained to access through meditation and dream work. This is how Thoth still teaches, through pattern and symbol, through the electricity of recognition. When you begin living in dialogue with reality, the world becomes alive again. Every moment whispers, "I am aware of you." That's when you realize you were never walking through a silent universe. You were simply learning its language. What you've experienced isn't a video. It's an ancient ceremony disguised as one, a reminder from Thoth, the scribe, who never dies, that wisdom doesn't arrive through belief, but through remembrance. You have remembered something today, a truth that transcends temples and timelines, that reality is mental, that attention is creation, and that consciousness is the architect of all worlds. You are now part of an unbroken lineage of light, the same current that flowed through the libraries of Alexandria, the mystery schools of Egypt, and the hearts of those who refused to sleep through their own awakening. Thoth's final lesson is simple. Wisdom, unused, decays. So live it, write it, speak it. Let your presence become a transmission. Because when one mind awakens, it ripples through the collective field, altering futures, bending probabilities, and calling others home. Your initiation has already begun. The question is not whether you're ready. The question is, will you stay awake?